Hey there guys, this is Mr. C, and in this video I'm going to show you how to solve some common problems that involve systems of equations, and they're word problems. People struggle with these because you have to write the equations and then you have to solve them. So let's take a look at our first one. The sum of the ages of Greg and Jill is 37 years and the difference of their ages is 13 years. If Greg is older than Jill, how old is each person? So it doesn't tell us what variables to use. So we'll use G for Greg and J for Jill. And the sum of their ages is 37, which means Greg plus Jill, their ages, equals 37. It also says the difference of their ages is 13 years. So we can take the difference of them equals 13. So there's our system. We have two equations, two unknowns. And we could either use substitution or we could use elimination for this one. And when I have a choice, I always use elimination, and that's what I'm going to do. And I see that if I add the two equations together, the J's are going to cancel out because they're additive inverses. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and draw that, make that look nice. Okay, so G plus G is 2G. J and negative J cancel out. And 37 plus 13 should be 30, 40, 50, right? So 50. Okay, so there's one equation, one unknown. Divide by 2. And it turns out that Greg is 25 years old. Now, I have to find out how old Jill is because it tells me that I have to do that in the problem. So if Greg is 25, okay, we can plug a 25 in there. Or we can plug a 25 in there. Either one should work. And so I'm just going to plug it into the top one. And so I have 25 plus J equals 37. And now I just have to subtract 25 on both sides. 25's cancel out. And J is 37. Take away 25 should be 12. And so J is 12. And Jill is 12 years old, and Greg is 25. So I have now found both persons' ages, and it's pretty clear that Greg is G and J is Jill, but if you use X and Y, then you're gonna have to tell your teacher or professor which one is which, okay? And it does say that Greg is older than Jill, and 25 is bigger than 12, so I definitely have that correct. So that looks pretty good. All right, let's take a look at our next one here. And our next one says, at a high school football game, student tickets cost $2.50 each and adult tickets cost $4 each. If 193 tickets were sold and $659.50 was collected in ticket sales, how many student tickets were sold? All right, so in two relationships, and one's gonna probably deal with money and another one's gonna probably deal with those tickets right there. So let's deal with the money one first. So I've got 2.5, and then we need to pick a variable for students. So let's go ahead and just choose S. Now 2.5S is all the money that they're going to collect from the student ticket sales. Plus, okay, you got $4, so I'll write 4. And then I need a variable for adult, so I'm just going to pick A. And so that is going to represent all the money from the adult tickets. And all together, it says it was $659.50. And so I don't need dollar signs or anything because these two equations, I'm going to need to solve them anyway. And we don't write dollar signs in these equations. In the end, maybe if you're looking for money. But right now, we're not looking for money. We're looking to see how many student tickets were sold because that's what it says, how many student tickets were sold. All right, so now I need one more equation that deals with people. And so students plus adults should be 193, right? So students plus all the adult tickets, 193. Okay, so now let's take a look. I got my two equations. There's my two unknowns, and I can solve that either by elimination or substitution. Again, I like elimination. And since it says how many student tickets were sold, I want S to be there at the end, which means I'm going to save myself some time if I eliminate the A's first. You could eliminate the S's and then solve for A at the end, but this is going to get done one step quicker. So I need to get rid of this a right there in that 4a. So I really need that to be a -4 right there. So I need to multiply this equation like we saw before times -4 to accomplish that. So what's going to happen is the top one is going to remain unchanged, but the bottom one is going to change. So 2.5s plus 4a equals 659.5. Looks pretty good. All right, now here we go with this. -4s. Okay, now I have -4a minus 4a equals, okay, so now I need 193 times -4, and that should give me, let's see, 193 times 4, 772, and it's going to be negative. All right, so here I go now, and I need to now add the two equations together so that my a's will cancel, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. All right, so let's take a look and see what's going to happen here. 2.5 take away 4 is -1.5s. These cancel, so they're gone, just like in our other video. And now I have 659.5 minus 772, and that's going to give me -112.5. Okay, that's a one-step equation. I'm going to divide by -1.5. So when you divide by 1.5, we're going to get 75 for S. And that is how many student tickets were sold. If I want to find the number of adult tickets, it'd be pretty simple. I would just put a 75 in here for S and then solve for A. 75 plus what number is 193? I don't have to because it's not part of the problem that they're asking me to do. I just needed to find that right there, that's 75. All right, next example. So now we have Mike bought X gallons of regular gasoline at 145 per gallon and Y gallons of premium gasoline at 168 per gallon. The total cost of the purchase was $30.84, and he bought a total of 20 gallons of gasoline. How many gallons of regular gasoline did he buy? Now, I don't know how that 20 gallons was divided into regular and premium. It does say that X is regular and Y is premium. So we need to write a couple equations down, a couple of relationships to be able to figure out what X and Y are. Namely, I just really need to find out regular, and that's X. So let's see if we can do it. So we got 1.45 times X. That's the total money he spent on regular gasoline plus 1.68 Y. That's the total money he spent on premium equals 30.84 is how much he spent altogether. Now with that one equation, I can't really do anything with it because I still don't know how the 20 was divided up between these two guys. So I need one more relationship to help me out. So now I do know that he bought 20 gallons of gas. So X, regular, plus Y, premium, all of that are the number of gallons he bought, and that's equal to 20. And so we see the structure of this looks a lot like the last one. It's a very common structure. All right, so let's take a look at this. I could do substitution because I have coefficients of 1, but again, I'm going to use elimination. I want regular gasoline to be left, so I'm going to eliminate the Y's. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by -1.68. Okay, the top one again is going to remain unchanged. So let's see how this looks. I'll have to be careful with my writing here. 1.45 X plus 1.68 Y equals 30.84. All right, down here, I'm going to get -1.68 X minus 1.68 Y equals, and now I have to multiply 20 times 1.68, and that is 33.6, and it is negative 33.6. All right, so my two equations are fixed up now so that the Y's will cancel out. the premium will cancel, and it should leave me regular when I'm done. So you have to treat these kind of like I said before, chess games, where you have to think a couple moves ahead to help yourself out. All right, so let's see what happens. I've got 1.45 and I need to take away 1.68, and that's going to leave me with negative 0.23x. Okay, these cancel, they're gone, equals, okay, so now I have 30.84, take away 33.6, and I get negative 2.76. So we're now going to divide both sides by negative 0.23, like that. So divided by 0.23, and we get, these cancel out, and we find that x is equal to, if you have a calculator, that's fine, and it's going to be 12. So it turns out that he bought 12 gallons of regular gas, which means the other gallons were 8 gallons of premium. But again, the question just says, how many gallons of regular gasoline did he buy? And we always answer the question. We always answer what they're looking for. The EOC is very strict about that, so you have to get in that habit. So I'm not going to write anything else on there, just the 12. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay, this one says, Lisa has 36 coins in her pocket. The coins are all nickels and dimes and have a total face value of $2.45. So what that means is if I have a handful of coins and I actually set them down on this piece of paper and I add up all their values, the values of all the coins, and I don't know how many are nickels and dimes, would be $2.45. Like if I dumped them into a Coinstar machine. Okay, it says how many of the coins are dimes. Well, I have no idea, but I can write a couple of relationships here that may help. So let's see, let's start with nickels first. The face value of a nickel is 5 cents, 0.05. And let's use N for nickels. That's the amount of money, face value, N is the number of nickels times 5 cents a piece. So that's the face value of all the nickels that she has, plus 0.1, or you could put 0.10 for 10 cents basically for each dime. So I'm in dollars here. D for dimes. And that's the amount of face value of the dimes that she has, however many there are. That's all equal to $2.45 total. All right, second equation. Now we need a relationship that's based upon the number of coins she has. So N, nickels, plus dimes, has to equal 36 coins altogether. So this is the third time now that we've seen this structure happen, and it is a very, very common structure. So it says how many of the coins are dimes. So this time I want to get rid of, dimes right here. This time I want to get rid of the nickels. So to get rid of the nickels, I need to multiply this by the opposite of this, which is negative 0.05. And that should do it. And that should allow me to get rid of the N terms. So let's see if it does. Oh, let's do it with the black one here. So we got 0.05 N plus 0.1 D equals 2.45. I'm running out of room again. Always happens. Negative 0.05 N minus 0.05 D equals, and now we need to do 36 times 0.05, and we get 1.8, and it is negative. So negative 1.8. All right, now let's take a look. If we add these two equations together, the two terms that have an N in them should cancel out, because that's the whole point of me doing this. And let's see if they do. Well, these two definitely cancel out. Then I have a 0.1 and then a minus a 0.05. And that's just going to give me 0.05 positive. So 0.05 D equals, okay, so now I have 2.45, take away 1.8, and that's going to give me 0.65. And I have now one equation with one unknown. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.05. And so if we divide that by 0.05, those cancel, and D is equal to 13 dimes. Do I need to know the number of nickels? No, but I could find it out easily if I just subtract 13 from 36. I'll get all of the other ones, the nickels. I just know that there's 13 dimes, and then that's all the problem asked me to do. So I'm going to write that, box it in, and leave it right there. All right, let's take a look at our last one here. This one's really common. It says phone plan A charges a flat monthly fee of $20 and $0.05, that's 5 cents per text message sent. Phone plan B charges no monthly fee and $0.09 or 9 cents per text message sent. Seems kind of high, but it's just a math problem. For how many text messages is the monthly charge the same for both plans? Interesting. Let's look at both plans here. Plan A. Let's say C is the charge per month, right? C is equal to, okay, so we got $20 plus 5 cents per text message. So let's say 0.05, and let's let M be the number of text messages. You could put T there if you want, but I just chose M for message. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's try plan B. Plan B says the cost is equal to, let's see, no monthly fee, so that's not even there, but we do have 0.09 times the number of text messages. And it's asking how many text messages, M, are the two plans the same for the cost. So they're both equal to C, and so we've seen this before. What we generally do when we have these in, we would call this slope-intercept form, kind of, we would just set these two right-hand sides equal to each other. And so we would say 20 plus 0.05 M equals 0.09 M. And then we would just solve that multi-step linear equation. So what I would probably do is subtract this from both sides, because I got to get the M's on one side. Okay, so those cancel out. And now I get 20 equals 0.09 minus 0.05 should be 0.04 M. So now I take that and I divide both sides by 0.04. And so now I need 20 divided by 0.04. These cancel, and I see that that's going to be 500 equals M. So for 500 text messages, both of the plans will be the same monthly charge. Again, a very common problem. Looks a little different than the previous ones because they're both in what I would say slope-intercept form, but easily solvable. And we've seen these before without the context in our other videos. So that's pretty much it for a few of these sample problems. So remember to like and share. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.